The greatest feeling in the world was holding my own gun. I'm hypertensive, but all my decisions been wholesome. My independence had me flipping on siblings I stole from. Said I'm just big and loud. Well, £1/2 is my silent treatment. I punched out plugs I could've stopped from eating. Jackie Gleason on the TV while his mama's sleeping. That plate was made, or he got that chick filleted like she Polynesian.
The fucking niggas do to me though. So I stand there blinded while my jewelry glow.
We did a lot of the SOs and, you know, AKAs. It was a bunch of clubs and spots that you had to touch.
In order to be solidified.
In order to be solidified, absolutely. And back in the days, let me tell you, niggas check you. You step into a circle talking about what you do, who you with, where y'all from, what you about. They're gonna test that temperature right there on the spot. Mm-hmm. You can't be saying who you are and you ain't that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like that. It was my whole rap shit. It was based on like reality rap. You know, I was more into the reality of what the fuck was going on. It was like, all right, we the storytellers of the neighborhood and blah blah blah. We never glorified that shit. You know, we never glorified selling drugs. We never did none of that. It was like the cause and effect. And, you know, this is the world. This is the repercussions. This is, you know.
But yet the labels turned y'all down. Saying y'all was
the label,
hard.
Yeah, the labels was just like, I mean, listen, you know, it was, you know, we had the Tribe Called Quest and like Lost Boys and it was just so much flavor and different. Nobody was trying to be like the next motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Everybody just had their own flair, which was dope. Mind you, I'm a fan of like hip hop, period. You know what I mean? Especially the ones before me. Like I grew up on some of the greatest music ever, you know. And nobody was trying to be somebody else, you know. So it was more of that. They just didn't know what
how to sell you. They didn't know how to package
I'm saying, I mean, because remember, like Ice-T was saying hustler, Hustler. I remember that. I remember that as a fan, right? Yeah, I remember that. But I also remember me having records talking about hustling and selling rocks and all, because that's what we was doing, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm like, oh shit, it's an easy transition. But again, like I said, they ain't want to touch it. They was like, we don't know how to sell this shit. Like, meanwhile, a sister of mine at the time was in the label and they signed her, and you know, it was all a lot of the shit that I wrote.
Who you talking about?
I mean, you know.
We don't know. That's why we
I said you know, meaning you know, I mean, you know, if you're a hip hop head, you know.
All right, what's the label?
I mean, it's totally irrelevant.
Huh? What's the label? What was the label?
But the label was Def Jam, right?
I know you
the label was Def Jam, but it's all good. It's all yeah. She went to Capitol first, and then something happened with that, you know, and that didn't happen. But it was crazy because my man and them, shouts to Sean and Paris, they was the money men back in the days for this artist. She a beautiful girl too. I love her, you know.
But you were
killing me, man.
You refuse to say who she is.
Me, man.
All right.
It's in the book.
It's in the books already. All right,
so shout out to.
So shouts to Foxy.
There we go. All right.
All right, let's give her some love. Let's give her some love. And yo, you know what's fucked up? I saw they ain't even include her in some female hip hop shit. That shit is whack, yo.
Yeah,
that's what.
Yeah,
shit be like, who be making all of these decisions for hip hop? Who be doing that shit? You can't selectively leave out motherfuckers who really had
major
important.
Impact.
Come on, yo.
Major impact.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, backtracking, you know, and this ain't. Listen, she can rhyme and she knew how to write. So let's just clear that.
No disclaimers necessary. I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But again, we in the same circle. She hanging out with us. Of course, gonna be penning shit. So I'm at the crib on Vanderbilt. At my man and them crib, they had the whole building. Like I said, shouts to Sean in Paris. And they was the money niggas. And they was going to see DR, paying him so we can sharpen her sword, right? Mm-hmm. So once her sword was sharpened, I walked in one day in Def Jam in the conference room, and I seen Don Pooh and Foxy, and I said, "Oh, what the fuck?" Shouts to Don Pooh. Shouts to Don Pooh, another real nigga. Word up. Another real G. Another real G. It's no love lost or none of that shit, but this just what it was, you know.
You walk in, Don Pooh.
I walk in, Don
Foxy
Pooh.
in the
I'm like,
conference
oh
room.
shit, all right, boom. But they banging the joints that, some of them that I wrote, you know. Anyway, long story short, fast forward, she gets signed. I mean, this was water under the bridge, mind you. Like I toured with Trigga, like they did a Def Jam, the Nutty Professor shit. Yeah. Like I wasn't on a label or none of that shit. Like I went on a tour. You know what I'm saying? She was around. We all was around. So it wasn't, you know, it's nothing shiesty or no kind of crazy.
You're not
shit,
beefing about no business. You just
nah. It's just it is what it is.
What
you know,
year?
some
What
people
year?
get
What year was that?
emotional and
Smoothe?
sensitive
Your mom
and shit.
asking. What year was that? When you walked in and seen Pooh and Foxy and all.
Oh, damn! That had to be like 94 or something.
94.
Maybe 94, 95-ish. You know, it was around then because again, we had pressed up our music and we was running around every motherfucking where. We went from here to Miami in caravans, 3 caravans full of white label music of ours. And to all the colleges, and was like, yo, if you like this shit, play it. If you don't like it, throw the shit in the garbage. The cool shit though, we had looked like drug dealers, right? We had the drug dealer look. So it worked. We looked like rappers, right?
We look like what you're talking about.
Yeah, we look like what we was talking about. So check it. By the time we get back to the label, because the label was from DR House. Shouts to my man Rafiq. Shouts to my man Devon. Shouts to Rocco. Yeah. Rafiq was the guy, and Digga. Rafiq was the guy who had just came home, who I had met right after meeting DR, period. So Rafiq came in, he kind of started managing DR's situations. And I took him on as my manager. Like he was fresh out of jail, blah. I knew him from the neighborhood, but again, so we all fresh out of bullshit and still swimming in it.
Music. Buying his equipment for him.
Right.
He was already buying his equipment for him, so they was building something on that end also.
Right. Rafiq was investing in DR early on. Prior. So when he came home, he came back to that situation, which the situation now is me.
It's all around. Look around you, man. You can find inspiration. You can find discouragement. It all depends on you. Perception is everything. Some people just hear another song. Some people hear the greatest. A nigga used to have no chill. Nowadays I bump side age. Bumper to bumper, stuck on the highway.